Good evening, Jets of Times fans. We are here. I'm OneFreeF, joined by the Wayfaring Fox, and we are here for match 3 of the Gato Cup 2 finale. So our two new players have squared off twice before. They split games, and so this one will decide who takes home the cup and 50 silver points. Second place will get also 50 silver points. Really, everyone got 50 silver points, to be honest. We're just handing them out. But yeah, Fox, what are you hoping to see tonight as we're gonna get underway shortly? Sorry, Fox. I have been live on the stream, but not to you. Good evening. They couldn't hear me. That's on me. Anywho, I did the intro, and so I ask again for you. What are you hoping to see here tonight in our?
Hello. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I just want. I don't know. I want to see something a little different. Like I kind of want to see maybe I don't want to wish a Sphere-Zero go. I want to see the CB a little tricky.
Hoping for something funky. Well, I have kicked off our racer, so they'll be getting underway shortly, and we shall see how funky we get. I will give a shout out to PhilosoRay, our tracker for the evening. They have probably the hardest job of tracking who's got what and generally where they got it from. So shout out to them for keeping us informed. So yeah, we got a Magus Robo start.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like Robo mostly around. They don't necessarily need gear to be effective, and they have one of our AoE heals. Magus, generally just a great magician. Free amulet, but we need 50 tech points for them to learn an ability, so sometimes that can be a little bit of a barrier with them as a starting character.
Actually, saying that, now what I kind of want to see is some abusable crisis arm kind of stuff potentially. I don't know how well our runners are good at using crisis effect. We had some hopes for Blue Rock, and Luca's locked behind forging the Masamune. So
we have our first new sighting. Sigil, heading to peek the burrow, getting a little bit more information about who might be in the front and back of the cathedral. Having eyes on Marl and Frog is usually pretty useful. Ceres heading right into the initial grind. I don't know if you caught it, Fox, what their Uzi Punch, what Robo's first 2 techs were.
I didn't catch it.
A tab invest for sale. Well, that's not. That'd be great if we had Luca. Uzi Punch and Cure Beam. Uzi Punch does kind of need a decent fist, it being Gato Cup with the higher tiers of loot generally available. There's a good chance we'll just stumble upon one. Ooh, early gate key. I'm gonna get the time.
This is actually one of my favorite things to see is early gate key, because like I will rush Denadoro on level 1, or rather I will rush the Dactyl Nest on level 1 for the character.
Yeah, it's a really good insight that Dactyl Nest character comes at level 15. That's not the right time. Let me try this again. Comes at level 15 with their first 3 times
and
unlocked.
Robo start free Robo ribbon to go with him.
Oh.
So I think they're probably going to keep Robo at this point.
Yeah, that helps Robo be more of a keeper. I think one of their big drawbacks being their natural speed is very low. Speed is very important in Jets of Time racing for going fast. So we like to have someone, generally with like good magic, be faster than everything in the game. And then ideally, everyone else as fast as possible too.
Looks like we've got max rolled on both power and magic tabs.
That is what our runners were asking for in the race room. As I was giving them the countdown, was like, please give us max tabs. They also were not, there was some expression of no, Spear 0, starting Frog, Magus Castle go mode at like 15 minutes. So we'll see. I don't know. The gate key does start to open up a little bit more divergence. I would also aggressively probably grab the Dactyl character. And Gato Cup magic is unlocked. I'm going to go ahead and check that real quick. But if we go early enough and do the Specchio, think magic, we will get the first 3 techs for free for anyone that does have to learn magic. So it doesn't really apply here because these 2 doesn't need to learn it and can't learn it. But if we did find someone in the front of the cathedral that can learn magic, taking a quick trip to the end of time can get them online quickly.
That's actually something I didn't think about here. When I played Jets, that's actually a very nice thing to do if you have the opportunity.
Yeah, because even if we have to unlock magic, that learning their first 3 for free, particularly if they happen to have a really good tech at the end of their tech order, it just makes it more likely that we can get there. A Black Rock.
That's not. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to use either Black or Blue Rock, unless if we get Magus Castle Go.
Hunting range. Rainbow, Prism Dress, Power Tabs. No Chrono yet. I'm seeing the hunting range get like a little bit more attention, I think, in the racing scene. Just because it can really yield a high tier item that's worth the time investment. Like a Haste Helm or Prism Specs. We are seeing that pretty low level. Not level 1, because they took a grind fight, but Ceres heading up the mountain. We have a question from Chad as Sigil fights the Nagets. What is the time investment for getting stuff from the hunting ground? Phone plays in Chad as one of our experts, but I would say like 3-ish minutes is a decent estimate.
I'm not the best at it. It really depends on the drops because like the drops are also shuffled between like the frogs and the like the ion anion pair, and there are only 2 of the latter in that spawn like each time you visit. So
Ooh, okay. I've seen a time hat and sunshades picked up in the Dactyl Nest chest, so very generous.
Mm-hmm.
More hunting
And we
ground
found
stuff.
frog.
Frog knowledge is good. This is a weird team, kind of. Not a lot of dual tech synergy. Robo and Frog
Ayla's
kind of
vanilla.
have similar roles. I would say Frog's a little bit better at magic. Robo is a little bit better at hitting stuff. And Ayla is a big find, though. Ayla's another character that doesn't really need gear to reach their optimal state. And there are +4 power tabs, so there's a lot of power to go around. The Magus Robo Ayla party still doesn't really have a whole lot. I mean, Beast Toss is probably the best dual tech we have, and we can't use it on everything, but there's enough power there that if built for it, like this could be enough.
I have a question for you. Would you gamble on there being a silver rock given what we've seen so far?
I probably wouldn't go out of the way for it necessarily. I mean, Denadoro would be the main place to look. That would maybe be like out of the way, but I would keep for the spin strike. I would keep my my mind open for it. So we're gonna see, yeah, our runners kind of crisscrossing. Sigil going to the back, where we know that he will find either Chrono or Marl, just based on the other characters. I think in Gato Cup I have a harder time with the decision to go to the back because just the loot along the way is usually worthwhile early on. And it could really be a kind of a difference in party composition if Ceres elects not to go back there, having already gone to Dactyl and getting Ayla, and then having Frog as like a better teammate for Robo potentially, depending on kind of what sort of gear. Do we find like the hero medal, that sort of thing?
Yeah, that also doesn't matter here when they find it. I think in Gato it's less about the hero medal, more about the Grand Leon, wouldn't it? You find that,
or at least like a maybe like what is it, Brave Sword or Pearl Edge? One of the Frog doesn't have the most sword of types in the game. Versus like, you know, our Chrono who has significantly more. I mean, yes, having rainbow knowledge, Chrono would be cool. But then again, not necessarily being like Like Chrono and Frog have a decent sort of pairing. Max Cyclone is useful.
I think that tech is undervalued. I'm going to be honest.
I think it's more of like, I mean, it's like a positioning thing similar to Black Hole. I just don't think about where Robo is enough to probably use it as much as I
Right.
should.
Yeah, that's...
Getting some more power tabs over on Ceres' side. Regular slash. Not gonna be. This is a pretty good spot to find regular slash. Looks like Ceres is heading for Hecarim. A popular opening, assuming we have any kind of magic going on. And will definitely help get Magus going. Because fights in here are going to give us 20 to 25 tech points once we get past these henches. I see a question about, is Robo good with the ribbon? Yes, is definitely the answer to that. The +3 speed, and it also has the sunshades effect and gives Robo barrier. Robo has a lot of hit points, but doesn't have a lot of magic defense naturally, so it makes him a lot tankier, and or the speed boost can even make it where if he has shock, he can be like our screen clear character in a pinch.
Mm-hmm.
I think Robo is sometimes a good candidate to I like a mage Robo. Making
looks like
okay.
Robo's next move is shot. Okay.
We have a Chrono that's got a screen clear tech that's pretty powerful.
So yeah, with Luminaire already known on Chrono's end, and Shock's the third tech for Robo here.
Where did that crisis Wave come from?
Oh my gosh, where did it come from?
I don't know. Was it in the cathedral? Is there somewhere loose hanging around? I missed that pickup, but that's big.
I was wondering about if there was gonna be one.
Very early too.
So with that, I think you just put most of your attack on Robo here. And there's the hero medal.
Okay. It does lead to another check, and if I felt confident I could, with Luminaire, I would feel pretty confident that I could beat any boss on the bridge. And I didn't. Dark Matter Sigil won't have online for the bridge boss, but probably won't need it. I am seeing it on Ceres' screen, so it does look like that was Magus' first tech. He's got the speed to be our screen clear in that case. But yeah, I think we are going to see some different party comps. I don't know if I've seen anyone invest their tabs yet as like a viewer or commentator. That can be a signal of like, I'm committing to this party for the rest of the game.
I've abused Crisis so much that I would go all in on Robo here, but in Sigil's position, but I don't know if he's going to do it.
Yeah,
with
I would
plus four
agree.
tabs, you
There's a lot of power tabs we can find.
yes.
And it's the crisis arm in hand is worth 2 rainbows in the bush, in the box, so to speak.
Yeah,
Um,
the crisis arm is very, very strong.
ooh, a little bit nasty of a mega mutant. This one can be hurt with physical attacks, though, and it does look like we also have Beast Toss going.
Yeah.
So we've got the top part down.
Yeah, that was something I wanted. I don't know if Ceres is aware. Um, if you have Beast Toss and you know that's going to one-shot one of the parts of Mega Mutant, you want to one-shot the bottom one because it inflicts the status on the first on the Mega Mutant's first turn. So it's very important to do that if you like have the opportunity. It's like I like the status can definitely be nasty, even, but it's only like one inflicted on one person, but it can definitely mess you up if it's a pretty ugly one.
Okay. Sigil's going to be in a little bit of a long fight here. Really can only use Luminaire. That's doing about 350 a hit. We've got 2100.
We found a clone.
A clone. Okay. Cat pet. Nabbed.
So if right. So if I may talk a little bit more about the crisis arm, its damage formula, like just due to the way the attack damage formula works in the game, it works purely off of Robo's. It effectively works on Robo's strength, and so the power plus 4 is just gigantic. And if Robo hits a 9 at any point, if he's like max with this Robo Ribbon, it's gonna start. If he has like max strength or something with this Robo Ribbon, it's gonna do at least 4,000 with an easy punch.
Yeah, that crisis effect applying to Robo's techs that use the punch. So that's really going to be Uzi punch. But because of how the crisis arm damage bonus works, it means that like effectively those +4 tabs are getting multiplied, even if we're not always being on the 9-digit, by like 2.5 times. So it's like,
oh, absolutely, yeah.
And Robo naturally at sort of our usual end game levels will tend to have some nice HP values at full health. Stuff like earrings can help manipulate that too. Sarah's passing on the hero medal for now. Heading desert bound instead. Hecarim goes down. So Sigil will be able to turn in. Hecarim dropping a Pearl Edge, too. I don't think we're going to see Frog. That's not a bad sword for him. I'm curious how many... I'm going to keep my eye kind of on like how many fights Ceres takes down here in the desert. I have known her to, if they're planning on doing like Mount Woe at any time, to take less fights down here and more focus on the loot just based on the routing. Like they took the required fight and didn't run from it, but they moved pretty carefully to avoid a lot of the other ones on that floor. So I don't think we're here for battles necessarily. Although we might fight the boss to obviously get the key item. New! That's 2 news on the sigil screen.
I think there could have been an argument to fight it. That's the Chrono Trigger. We're gonna have Black and Omen go, aren't we? No, it's almost
We
guaranteed.
could. It is like one of those, like, we had the gate key already. We've seen the ribbon. There's still a lot of key items in the pool. We'll definitely see. Sometimes I feel it's like seeds will like point at one of the go modes early and then go.
It's just
no, you're not finding it. That one, like
it's just the only thing left is pendant. We found the clone out of Hecarim, so and there's not many places for pendant to be.
yeah, without like Toma's pop turning up.
Right.
We've already seen hero medals reward. Yeah, that lava spawn didn't last long. Like it is interesting to see the different who's named which characters, like who. Like I see Magus's sigil on Ceres' side. Is Phone Robo on both? Yeah, I believe so. I know Phone, very enthusiastic runner and enjoyer of Chrono Trigger randomizers. Definitely spent quite a bit of time in both of our players' chats as they were practicing, giving them tips. The mentor to all phone plays. Give him a little shout out. But yeah, somehow Phone ended up as Robo. And would they agree? Did they agree to like name them the same, or did they agree to just use certain names? That's what I'm curious about. What are we gonna get
We
here?
could probably ask at the end. Oh, apparently from chat, yes. There's the pendant. Okay, that's a no mode.
However, having already skipped the bridge, the question for Ceres is like, how long do we think it'll be before they go back there? They're going to Woe now. Reptide is still on the table. If we're routing for power, which is something I do advocate for my mentees, we might not go back to the bridge for a while. I also like to do the bridge early because of that. I kind of forget about it in my routing. So like there's a lot of checks that are not going back to do the bridge.
We just know that Black Omen Go is already
like we know. Ceres does not know that where that go mode is yet, though.
I don't know how attuned Sigil is to Crisis effect, because that was going to be a 0 every time. If you have a 0, you're going to do no damage. I think Robo's at the like exact level you don't want to be on right now. But regardless, he's still able to kill Megavian anyways.
Ooh, Super Vault is also a pretty nice double tack. Like,
yeah, I meant to mention that Super Vault was like there.
with +3 magic tabs, our less magically inclined characters can become powerful mages. And like the party, we found like everyone but the mages except for Magus. We can always use those on Magus to make him stronger. the way a lot of the damage formulas work, the characters that are not as good at magic on their powerful magical text like Luminaire or Shock have like a higher damage multiplier relative to, like, I guess Marl Ice 2 is where she caps out and kind of makes up for that with high magic. But yeah, with enough of those magic tabs put on like one or the other, that Super Bowl can do a lot of damage for AoE. Not that we're like hurting for that in either of these, but Sigil heading for the desert. If they clear this, oh wait, where the clone was?
It was Heckran.
Okay, I have such a like.
Oh, yeah, Sigil already has it.
I forgot what happened 20 minutes ago. Brain. I know they finished Heckran, so I was like, yeah. So Sigil's actually on the path to the pendant here. Black Omen doesn't really have like a repeatable grind, but one of the nice sort of features about it is that there's so much along the way that we usually don't need to. It's always really a question of like, do we feel, how's our power? Knowing we have to fight Zeal 2, what's our sort of single target damage look like? Magus certainly does not shine in the final Zeal fight. Well, there's also, if you have access to the future, you can go fight the mutants in the lab. I think that's actually a little bit more efficient than the conveyor belt. Yeah, the mutant grind in the future at lab number escapes me.
32.
Because I want to say there's like a 3 or 4 pack that one could just run in and out.
Yeah, there's a 3-pack on the left side. There was another rainbow.
Was that on a Woe? Was that a Woe?
That was on Woe. And both of them, I don't think Sigil's going to see.
So Ceres has seen 2 rainbows, but no Chrono. And Sigil has Chrono, but might not see either of those rainbows, just kind of based on, like, they didn't check the hunting range. Yeah, if they could trade each other, I'm sure that they would. Like, give me a rainbow and I'll tell you where the other go mode piece is. But that is not how this works, so they just have to play with what they have and use the information in front of them.
Yeah, it is just one of those seeds. I'm gonna say I feel bad that they got this as their last one.
I think fast go mode seeds are more stressful.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's more stressful, and like if you just like don't do like the early checks and just like skip one, like it can just burn you so quick.
Yeah, but the Black Omen go is pretty lengthy and presents a lot of opportunity. If there's like a power difference between the 2 runners, for catching up. It's really the question of having peaked the bridge, which now would be an incredibly fast boss fight for Ceres, and knowing it's the hero medal, which leads to another check. When do I go back to do that versus some of the other stuff? Or would I, it'd be like, will we go to Reptite next and then do the bridge, right? Like, because after Woes, Ceres is not going to have to route for, like, power to get levels or gear anymore.
Sigil got a lucky roll on Robo's HP to a 9.
Nice.
So 2 hits the lava spawn right there.
Ceres chose not to mess with rebels, which is a pretty good call, I think. Making some pretty nice time up here on Woe. Doing some charming. Must have learned. Something that's dropping something we want more of. Yep, speed tabs. The man-eaters are dropping speed tabs. So we'll get it. Like 3 of those. Oh, we're kind of purposely leaving one alive. Or, yeah, Ceres is just trying to get the other speed tab instead of doing an AoE there. So that'll be, they probably, I wonder, I didn't see if they charmed the previous man-eater formation, but potentially this represents like 5 speed tabs that they've gotten in 2 fights. Sigil has pulled their go mode. Doing a little shopping. Grabbing some supplies, more revives, some shelters. Now what this does mean is hopefully we'll see 2 Fritzes saved. Now, in the chat, the race room, the runners asked for no 20-minute Magus Castle go mode, which has not happened. Now, maybe they wanted no 20 to 30-minute go modes in general. I probably should have clarified and set my intent better, but... Yeah, I would say there are alternate paths too that if gotten fast enough, would also really make it wide open.
Like I would just be I would be like stunned and unable to say anything if that actually is Strange Stone Ruby Knife. For
it would be flabbergasting. Like
yeah.
And just like looking, because there's still a lot of stuff out there too that are not those things. Well, you can't keep me locked up. I am OneFreeF, so I am busting out of Guardia Castle on Sigil's side. Then I will free my ancestor. That would be really funny if Sigil didn't do it. It would be so funny. I think I would forgive them because I do approve of commitment to comedy and the bid. Well, I can only count myself, so that's why there's one. I don't see any other ones around. Well, I feel like I blinked and Terramune is dead. kind of the confirmation that Ceres' squad does not want for power and really just wants progression at this point. This guard is being a little stinker.
Well, there's a Grand Leon, so that situation isn't happening today.
So we're heading to Reptite. Which is a pretty fast check. I mean, I think the bridge comes before Denadoro or taking the pendant to the future. So I don't think it's like way off of the like kind of what's next, but I see a question in chat that I can't answer because yeah.
Yeah, I can't answer that either.
The bridge is like, it is a bit of a commitment. And early on, it can, depending on the boss that's there, definitely present a challenge to a low-level party. Like, we saw Sigil have to spend quite a bit of time, you know, I think they had to cast like 7 Luminaires and ether up Chrono. Not the fastest fight, but like later on, I think it's like, because you have to go through those first couple of encounters, like it can feel like kind of a big commitment.
Oops, all mutants.
Well, we are probably seeing a few more bosses in WoW, so better here. Sigil demonstrating, when in doubt, try it. If you get the mutants mixed up.
Sigil should have Super Volt.
Because I myself always get Giga and Mega confused. Doing enough commentary lately, I think I finally figured it out. It's just I feel like Mega and Giga in like progression-wise get mixed up, so I always forget which one is the one you can attack normally, which is Mega, as we've seen in this seed. I think Super Volt is like a double tech that, because kind of naturally it's like, oh, they both kind of have low magic, but it's still putting a damage multiplier on top of two very powerful attacks, so it's even at, you know, without using any magic tabs to make those two better. It can be handy in a pinch. Usually more against like Lavos versus like this squad. It's going to be a lot of
Fitz,
punches.
What would your team composition be in this situation?
I probably also would have pushed early Dactyl, because it is that character with a gate key at either Carpenter or Snail Stop. It's just a huge power spike. Prism Helm, Gloom, those are nice finds.
Oh my goodness.
And that steel door. So if I had gotten Ayla, I would probably be running Magus, Robo, Ayla. I might be tempted... Frog's got a hero medal. I might be tempted to run Frog, Robo, Chrono. I don't know. I tend to just kind of go with who I get from...
Okay, game, calm down. That's the third status immunity equipment that was out of these.
Well, the future is ready for Lavos now. It's too bad all these items were in chests and not out in the field in 1999, but Sigil going to get a little peeksy of who we know is Marl in the future. Ceres heading to do the bridge, so we'll be on the same path after a disappointing Grand Leon. Oh, with the Grand Leon and the Hero Medal and Ayla, and also knowing that we're going, Dropkick is just very good with all of that stuff. But it's also like, I think for me, if I've invested the tabs, like, you know, go with that investment. Yeah, that is really the question. There's probably 7 or 8 minutes. Death Peak and Black Omen. That's a lot. There's a lot of encounters. Sigil, I think, is going to grind on some mutants here. So with like an early go mode, like a lot of the small decisions are magnified in importance. And so things like, how much do I do before I go into my go mode? You know, too little, and I might be taking too much time, you know, too much, and I might get caught from behind. You know, does a runner feel like they're ahead? Do they feel like they're behind? How confident do they, you know, feel in their party composition? Like, all of those little things, I think, can equal like a 7 or 8 minute sort of difference. As well as, like, are there any bosses that might present a different challenge to a particular party composition? Couple fights. I wonder if we were just looking to unlock a particular tech before we started our Death Peak climb. Ceres will have it once they go turn in their hero medal. So we know they're on the path, but she doesn't know she's on the path yet. Quick save here in case it's something. It'd have to be like jerky. I guess Prism Shard is also useless to us right now. It's a weird looking egg. But Ceres is in go mode. I guess it's always a question of, like, how as a runner do we know if we're ahead or behind? We don't. But it's just like, so there's always like a feeling that kind of develops. And I think, like, getting go mode at like 45 minutes, like, I could see Ceres feeling behind because she's done a couple of checks that didn't really lead anywhere. So it's easy to think, like, oh, if my opponent hasn't done those, then I've done more things. However, I probably actually have more levels than they do. So feeling behind but being powerful, we might see Ceres run from every single fight they can the rest of the way through the game. We might see Sigil take a couple extra ones and That can add up. Yeah, I saw that.
Or just miss a fight skip like this one because Death Peak is quite possibly one of my. I have a love hate relationship with this place. The fight skips are so awful. That one's probably one of my most hated in the entire game.
Yeah, I would. I can feel that because it feels great when I just like sail through and get them. But like, there's a couple of them. Really, that one that you mentioned is like to me the one that seems the most random. Every other one I feel
Yeah,
like
this one's also really bad too. I think you just go for it and run around the tree up the right at the start. But
yeah. And so
the
like
rest
anytime
are
that we
generally
like,
okay.
we hit an encounter like that, that's like 10 or 15 seconds. Like if the enemy gets to attack us, even longer than that. I think there seems to be plenty of speed going around that I don't know if either our runners are going to get like outsped by anything at this point. We've got one boss at the top here of so many speed tabs of Death Peak.
We're gonna call it Speed Peak now.
For sure. That little fall off windscreen can be really nerve wracking.
Or we could just call it Tab Peak because that's the fourth tab in a chest that we've seen. That's quite a lot.
full Fritz saving. The restream will continue as planned. Yeah, Sigil pretty quickly here going to be at their boss. This boss spot not too rough. I feel like usually if we can get to Death Peak, we can beat the boss here. Okay. I think they'll probably still be fine.
Sleep plus, but you still gotta be a little careful.
So some nice punches. Yeah, there is a save that's a little bit out of the way that we could have taken advantage of before this boss. I think that was a 9-digit punch. Yeah. No, phone. That was a 6-digit punch.
I think that was a 5 and then a 6.
So those crisis punches, they feel good to go. Like if we can keep Robo at a decent number, Zeal's gonna be just fine. That crisis arm, that was, I think, in the cathedral. So Robo tossing the egg up in the air. As a runner, we get a nice, well, there's a couple more inputs, and then we get a nice kind of 45-ish seconds to take a breath or two, maybe sip on some water, and think about, all right, how am I doing Black Omen? What's my speed? Probably pretty figured out at this point for both of our runners.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for Sigil, it's going to be how many of these optional fights do I take along the way. And we'll find out pretty shortly.
It might be a little tricky, but the goons and jets are like the best enemies to fight generally if you can. Or with this party comp, it's not the easiest thing to do because they absorb light and shadow elemental damage. So you'd have to pretty much use like physical or fire. And Ceres is gonna see this like absolute stacked sealed room.
The helms of the future are quite good. Ah, getting our mid-ethers. Nothing too great. Having an extra Lapras or two would be nice, but we still have some new shops on the way as well. Or the new shop. Petting the cat. Confirmed. The results of this race will be valid according to the Cat Council. Which of course is all the different cats that are in Chrono Trigger. Still heading in to the Black Omen. This first laser guard fight is really a big speed test. Are we fast enough? Can we do 400 damage? It's mostly about this fastness. I have personally wiped up here a time or two in my day from not being fast enough. Seen in chat, Sigil heading in here just a couple seconds shy of 53 minutes, so we can have some kind of benchmarks here. It looks like Ceres heading into Death Peak is about 7-ish minutes behind Sigil. We'll kind of keep an eye on that gap, see if it shortens or widens as they hit these common checkpoints. Both runners getting the power tab at the base. It is very cool looking to get it on the way up. It does not save any time, which are the best kind of tricks, in my opinion.
Black Hole hits it with Magus and it barely KOs them, so you have that planned out, I think.
Yeah, good Magus positioning, particularly I think for the those goon fights you mentioned, which are really the highest experience fights. There could be some good drops. So sometimes I think we see runners, but not today, take a couple of the optional ones just to see what's up, but Sigil is feeling good. Level 24. There's a lot of levels in Black Omen, so I think they're going to be probably in the 30s by the time they hit the back.
And the bosses themselves will give out a lot of experience.
I wonder if anyone's hunting for like if Sigil's still trying to get like confused. I want to say his Chrono's got like a dark saber. I'm both color confused and also don't know all the colors of all the Chrono swords, so I could be wrong. I'll try to keep my eye out for that on our next menu. I think the Crisis Arm is like one of the big differences between. Because Sigil got Chrono, and Chrono's been doing a little bit. That Luminaire early was helpful. But just kind of, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts if like we felt like the Chrono impact right now has like paid off.
I said no.
Investment.
I said no to Chrono now.
Yeah, it looks like Marla's coming in, and and honestly, if she's anywhere close to getting haste, like might as well just haste Robo and let him cook. If we find a rainbow or like a she badge or something along the way, maybe switch again, but. I like the move. It can be hard to change up the party, an hour in, but I think it's a good call. Recognize like where our offense is, and
I think our tracker's saying that she already has it, haste and re-raise. Oh, just saying that would be what you'd be looking for. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't take this fight. I would have just ran from this one.
Yeah, those two are not they're not the juiciest of encounters.
Actually,
I think the
Fly
guys
he should have used Black Hole, I think. If he wanted to take this fight. He got the 10 mid-ethers. I don't know what if he's like in a dire need to conserve MP. But you don't want those flight clubs, they take quarter damage from all elements. So you don't want to use elemental damage. If you can help it.
Yeah, fortunately they have pretty low hit points, but all right.
Yeah, it's just if it does, a Black Hole right there would have KO'd that fight if he wanted it, but it's not as valuable as the goons or something. Speaking of goons,
Elevator goons, and Sarah's heading for some more sealed chests. Sometimes it's like the thing with the fog and 600 AD that sometimes it just takes a while to go into building. I try not to go to Black Omen or do too much in it because just that fog layer be causing problems sometimes. A stud? That's not a bad find. Some nice movement by Sigil. Skipping some encounters. Very nice.
more speed.
Oh, what? They got caught all the way over there. There's one on the Sigil side.
Yeah,
I still have trouble with.
That one is a very much a pain in the behind.
I'm just looking at Ceres' start. It looks like it's still about 6.5, 7 minutes. A second crisis arm.
There's okay.
That's not great from
and a Shiva
edge. Decisions.
I think I saw a vanilla Mega Elixir. I'm not sure if that's vanilla, but it's either vanilla or French vanilla right there.
Yeah, phone, I think that's pretty close. I didn't see the exact time myself. That's definitely enough for the edge. Blue mails are nice if we thought we were going to get into a prolonged sort of scrap with Zeal. I don't think we are. But definitely worth having. If we don't have any good elemental mails, I'd pick up some, but it looks like we're picking up as many elixirs as we can carry. I think Marl is out.
Indeed.
Thanks for your time. But we found we finally found a shiny sword.
He might be forgetting where his prism helm is, but we'll see.
There's usually at least one more final sort of refitting that happens before we hit the like last boss. So I do prefer to do it all at one, like all in one menu, just so that I don't forget anything. But
I
don't know
think
if Chrono
both
has
runners
confused you.
got. I think both runners got good luck in this room that Ceres is in. The eye at the beginning was closed, so you could just run right past it.
Yeah, I won.
I don't know if that's seeded or not. I know the elevators are.
Yes. Elevators for sure. We'll see. We'll see if there's any fights. What it looks like, yeah. Sarah's not opting. I think they're running from everything. They might take a goon or two.
Oh, they got the forced one on this first elevator here.
This fight on the sigil side, if I'm feeling like I'll need a little bit more levels, yeah, I would take it. Yeah, those usually Black Hulk cannot one-shot the goons, but I believe Sigil spent most of their magic tabs on Magus. For Ceres, leaving the news shop will kind of be our next checkpoint to see kind of how far apart our two runners are. Very nice. Ooh, a Mega Elixir. Never say no to that. That's nice skip
That's
there.
a second one. Ceres is going to get this other crisis arm.
Couple more power tabs for good measure. It's reselling, loading up on 4 Mega Elixirs. Probably enough. Sarah's leaving the new shop 1:16:14. So this is kind of closed. Ooh, a Dalton Plus. Closed down to about 4 minutes.
Now that Ceres has a Crisis Arm, the Crisis Arm effect with Uzi Punch gets the boost from Beast Toss, and Beast Toss, if she thinks about it, should be on Ayla to boost that damage output even further. And so,
I like the shades.
Yeah, the shades, yes.
Yeah, I think we might. Yeah, we'll see Dalton get tossed likely.
I think Beast Toss is gonna hit for at least 4,000 without like any like additional modifiers to Crisis Arm. With that,
Sigil doing a good job of keeping some good punches up. We're down to 3 hit points. Now the pain orbs are coming out. Pain orb number 2. Ooh. Now I think where he's gonna go back to less dangerous orb attacks. Unfortunately,
I think we've seen every boss that is like the magically oriented fights.
Yeah, because we've seen all 3 mutants. We haven't seen the golems. Or golem.
I mean, like the ones with the high magic.
Oh yeah, because we saw Hecarim.
Like Nizbel. We saw Hecarim, yes.
Yeah, it would really just be. And with Magus, it like, ooh, Dalton.
Oh gosh. I think we're about tied now. Like we're very close to tied. Ceres is in the room behind that.
Yeah, that definitely. It's gonna close the gap.
Are these attacks all physical or are some of them magical? I forget about this.
The
5K, even
wow,
even more.
Like the orb attacks are physical, I believe. So like throwing a shield on somebody would help mitigate it. Ooh, that's a 9-digit.
But there's this counter. I don't know if it's gonna.
That was just 4,000.
Healed.
Alright. Now we're at 5-digit. I think if... Yeah. Sigil's gonna get through. As long as Robo can get one more attack off. Because I think they got like 500 hit points left. But Ceres is through. Get that 8-digit punch off. Do it, do it.
I've used this Crisis Arm Beast Toss strategy in vanilla runs like to hell and back. It deals so much damage if you can set it up correctly. It's ridiculous. Like for every fight that you can toss an enemy.
Got some more goons on the elevator. This is gonna be the weak orbs. We just gotta hit this guy with something. Nice. Something a little bit harder than that, I guess. This is still gonna be the weak orbs. So phone... A 0, no. We're kind of getting a little messed up by some damage rolls, but there we go.
Just like that, that's the lead swapped.
Yeah, we've probably swapped about where Sigil's like 2-ish minutes behind right now. But still, 2 more boss spots and then the Zeal boss gauntlet ahead.
Indeed.
But there's really not many more, like, other than being able to skip the bats and the screen that Ceres is in. Like, after the first boss, there's really not much more to skip.
Depending on this, like, you can one-shot them, you can just take the fight, but she's skipping it. It's totally reasonable.
I think, yeah, Magus is in the right position for Sigil. And Ceres as well. Both of them making pretty good use of positioning.
All these fights are susceptible to like double bomb and max cyclone for if like Robo's in the party lead. So Black Hole has a bigger radius, so it's not even a shock that it would hit. Like all these fights on the screen.
Alright. Ceres has got some panels, and then we will see our second boss of Black Omen.
It also unfortunately does hit the Zeal on both hands in the last stage of this Zeal fight here.
I think Ayla is at star speed for Ceres' squad.
I think a minor nitpick about Beast Toss is that when you use Beast Toss, you get the ATB penalty for Robo and not Ayla. So you want Robo to be as fast as possible.
A Zombor, well, we can toss the top. And that'll probably be it for that part. Nope, a little bit more. Black Hole works on everything. That can take magic damage, but
that's actually like probably a better outcome because Robo keeps his MP.
yeah, Magus can't hurt the bottom as much. Pretty good. Black Hole still works though.
I'm surprised you don't just cat attack or something right there. That would have ended it. Yeah, I'm being a little bit nitpicky. It's just I know they're definitely not used to seeing this. I just am because I know how to use it.
No, and I mean,
It's
even
just,
as their mentor, these two have kind of quickly gotten to the place where it is the small stuff. Ceres did not head back to heal or save after that fight.
she could have also like used the Mega too, but nope. Oh, we got another tossable boss here, so.
Yeah, I mean, they did make sure to refill, like, Magus's NP. The Sigil is right at the boss behind.
I think that was a menu mistake. That too, yeah. It's definitely nerve-wracking seeing this kind of scene.
Yeah, the earlier Go mode, definitely the more stressful it can be because it's like I just know that there's less margin for error. It's just like the racetrack is a lot shorter than I thought it was. And I try to just look forward and be like, all right, well, let me focus on like what I can control and the rest of the go mode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what's my plan for how many fights am I taking? Like just trying to think a lot of that out in advance. Sigil pretty quickly getting through this fight with swords and punches.
So now one final thing I'm going to mention. If Ceres has fast enough Robo and Ayla, she's going to be able to outspeed Queen Zeal here. And in Jets, the Beast Sauce is just going to one-shot.
Yeah.
So, hopefully this outspeed happens. Just on the wrong menu and just bled too much ATP. Definitely had enough time.
With 1 HP, it's not gonna one-shot. But that's still a lot of damage for...
It's still gonna do half.
That was more than I thought it was gonna do. But there's been power tab boosting. Not as much on Ceres' side, but I feel like Ayla has more strength relative to our Chrono over on Sigil's side. Sigil is into Super Slash, so they're kind of still a boss behind. Kind of just running with their like fastest text, basically. What are we gonna do with Mammon Machine? We're opening with a punch. Now, a little quirk about Mammon is that increased defense doesn't like go away. I feel like it doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
It goes away, but it goes away like a little bit after the point where you it gets ready to use its second attack. So it's got its big attack, and then it uses the move Point Flare. Like right around when it uses Point Flare is when the defense drops. It's really finicky. But Ceres doesn't care and was able to just ignore that whole situation.
I'll get our audio switch back over. Can you Beast Toss Zeal too? No.
Definitely not. No.
Can you punch them in the face? A lot.
Yes.
So probably more of punching, triple kick, Magus items. Can you Beast Toss Lavos? No. None of the parts. You'd think you could Beast Toss the middle part because it's not floating. But no. I forget sometimes and try every now and then. Maybe
with like max strength, Robo, Crisis Arm, if you could Beast Toss, you could do like nearly max to like anything. If both Robo and Ayla are like maxed out on stats.
So the 5-digit Uzi punch and a triple kick, that's 5,000 damage. See, Inhalation, queuing up that Mega Elixir. Yeah, I was like, hopefully none of the hands already were queued up to do something. It's hard to pay attention to in a fight, I find, when I'm trying to go as fast as possible, but like little stuff like that of like, when's the last time the hands have gone? Not that I can particularly control that, but at least I can know maybe someone's going to go down before I can get this Mega Elixir off. Oh, taking some of our damage off. We got like 2,800 hit points left to go, or one more punch. Well, maybe. Healed, perfect. One more punch. And I think that... yeah.
Yep, that's it. GG.
GG's. Let me look at the race room time. 1:22:05. I'm gonna switch the music over. We'll pick up Sigil.
Didn't I say like 2 minutes into the seed or something after we saw the ribbon? I was like, didn't I actually ask about there being crisis arms available?
Yeah.
Like right at the start? Oh my god.
They were available at the very beginning and the very end. But yeah, it truly was an incredible series. Like getting to watch all 3 and doing some commentary. Oh yeah, I should see if we're gonna get our runner in here shortly, but I think both of these runners. Oh, I see. Let's pull in our winner here. Hello, GG's, congratulations. How does it feel to be the second Gato Cup champion of all time?
I don't know if we can hear you just yet, Ceres.
And that's okay. This time I can see everything looks correct on my end. I know we had a little bit of an issue at the beginning. But while we get that technical figured out, we'll turn back to Sigil's finish here. Because they got through Mammon pretty fast. And are punching their way into Zeal 2's face.
We do love punching.
Hello! There we go. Welcome in.
Yeah. Hopefully Sigil gets to show off a max strength Crisis Arm Uzi punch, because I never got to.
I don't think either of you got to max strength.
I did. I tried to use a power tab on Robo and it didn't work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but I must have just like not seen that that little detail near the end. Then that's on me. So very close.
Yeah, I was very worried when I actually went back for the hero medal, because I was like, well, I could potentially be a Woe and a Reptite behind, but you do get very strong from doing Woe.
Indeed. Sigil over the 10k on Zeal here. And it's that you were exactly correct in terms of Sigil hit go mode earlier, but the power and I think Chrono or Fitz was in the back of the cathedral.
Yeah.
So Sigil went back there, but you did not go get Ayla. So that was kind of the big difference in party comps.
He didn't get Ayla, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird party, because Beast Toss is the most incredible thing ever until you can't use it. But with
Pretty
the
much, yeah.
with the power tab plus 4s, I was like, well, we can just Uzi punch our way through everything.
Yeah,
Although there were a bunch of rainbows floating around.
Yeah, we did see that. Unfortunately, Sigil didn't get any of them. So it was like, you know, GG's to
GG's to
Sigil as
Sigil.
well.
GG Sigil.
He did get a 9 roll at the very end there.
Yeah, we saw a couple of 9-digit punches. Dalton gave Sigil a little bit more of the business.
Yeah, that was one of the major things that flipped the lead here.
And I think that was like probably one of the big, besides like a overall, you know, I think having done Woe and Reptide, you were able to pretty much kind of run from everything. And Omen, Sigil was pretty aggressive as well. Both have had an incredible effort out there, but I think the extra levels plus getting through on Dalton first try.
Dalton there is pretty scary. I shouldn't have used that dark matter. I just wasn't expecting Beast Toss to do over half of his HP.
Yeah, if you're not used to seeing that, I definitely don't blame you. It's just you get the crisis. It's just like 3 multipliers that are on Robo when you use Beast Toss, so it hits really, really hard. So you got the ribbon was doing its multiplier, and then the crisis arm multiplier, and then the multiplier from Beast Toss itself. So it's like it's a lot. I in vanilla runs I've abused that way too much. So I'm definitely used to seeing it do that much damage.
Yeah, not the team I was necessarily hoping for, but I was pretty happy with it. I mean, especially when you have Dark Matter and Uzi Punch and like Rock Throw right at the beginning, it's like whatever, we'll just make single text work at the end. And luckily we fought probably the easier boss for that, in terms of which go mode we could have gotten.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. How do you feel about the 2 rainbows that you found along the way and everything?
Yeah, in some ways I'm glad I didn't get Chrono Fitz in Back of Cathedral, because I would have done the Hunting Grounds play for the rainbow and then found another rainbow just in Woe. Yeah, I'm glad this one was close and that no one made any huge mistakes.
Yeah. I think it was
thankfully was close. This is definitely one that I myself would just like not want to play just because it's such a fast go mode you get.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what exactly I would have done if I had just done the hero medal, I would have had go mode then, and I don't know. It's so much nicer being able to do Woe and get yourself super powered and just stomp everything on the way. I don't even mind the dead check Woe. It's more the useless Reptite layer that I did, and I probably didn't need to go around getting sealed chests.
Oh yeah, there were like a lot of good helms floating around in those.
But I already had a bunch of good helms.
Oh, I think Ceres meant
like
the
55 speed tabs. Although you got them from Woe as well. They were everywhere. Speed was not a problem.
I really value being fast, so as soon as I saw that those things were dropping them, I was like, we got to charm them. But we ended up finding plenty in the end, so I'm glad I didn't charm for like 10 of them as I'm usually want to do.
All right, well I'm gonna pull Sigil in here as well and let y'all talk about the race and whatnot. So here we go. Welcome, Sigil. GG's fantastic race. How you feeling after that? Oh, let me make sure.
I had myself muted. GG, Ceres.
GG, Sigil.
The one time
GG,
I don't
Sigil.
get gold earrings is when I want them.
I feel like I saw it was silver earrings that
It
I
was
saw
silver.
everywhere. Yeah. I think there might have been one at hunting grounds.
And I only went to the past to unlock it.
That reminds me, I meant to actually map HP for crisis related nonsense that you could do. um Especially with silver and gold earring for levels for jets, just as a reference going forward. I was definitely tempted to do that. I had that idea in my head and I definitely forgot it until you just mentioned this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only math I care about with Crisis Arm is that at a certain point, if your HP is full, the number is 5, and 5 is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's some big brain stuff that you can do.
That was my whole single target offense.
I will mention another thing about it. If 34 with gold earring is when he hits 999. So that's something I know from just off the top of my head.
Can we get HP tabs, please?
Yes, please.
But yeah, it sounds like Sigil, I did woe, and you didn't. And then the woe power just let me slowly start to catch up to you.
I think it was both that and you checked Gato and got Ayla and Beast Toss boost.
Oh, and the fact that
higher.
there was a Crisis Arm in Black Omen. Because Sigil, where did you find
Yes.
yours? He found one really early.
Back of Cathedral.
Yeah, there was one in the back
Yeah,
of the
that's
Cathedral.
what that's what we were thinking. Yeah, there were two.
Yeah. Yeah, if I played one seed of Millennial Pre, which is the one, it's kind of like one step up from Gato Cup, and you do not find Crisis Arms and Rainbows in the back of Cathedral, but it's happened multiple times.
It was the
boss.
boss.
It was the boss? Okay.
Yes.
That's at least a little less,
Oh,
okay, yeah.
I didn't realize it was the boss drop. All right.
Yeah. That's why I went to the bridge right after. And of course it was Hecarim.
Yeah, I peeked the bridge and it was Hero Metal, and I reset, and then I was like, well, I probably just could have done it because it would just lead to another check anyway. And I'll go do woe. And then I do woe and reptite, and I'm like, let's see what's here. Oh, the way that you win.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But I don't know, if I have fast mages, and I have dark matter or something, I just love doing woe.
A question for you, Sigil. You had Super Bowl access pretty early on. Did you just forget that you had it?
For WoW?
Just in general for damage for the mutants and stuff, because we had Giga Mutant on the bridge.
Super Volt, yeah.
Yeah, so Super Volt just because it hits harder than just pure Luminaire.
I didn't know the damage I forgot the damage calculation for that.
It's just Luminaire plus shock and jet, since it's multiplied by 1.25. So it's both of them combined, and then you get the multiplier.
Yeah, I barely used Robo in my practices.
Yeah, I asked who you wanted to be named after, and you said that you don't like Robo.
Yes.
It's hard unless if you get this kind of seed. So, um,
Can I
I
just
definitely
say,
don't blame you for
confuse
saying that.
Chrono again for last spell?
It was?
Yes.
Of course it was.
I I didn't even notice. Oh gosh, I didn't even notice. That's brutal.
Yeah. hmm So it's just like, oh, he's pretty much dead weight the whole seed, except one fight.
Yeah, I think we'll probably wrap things up, let everyone get their final thoughts. I definitely want to thank uh, all of our mentors, all of our new players, um, the Restream team as well for giving the new players a spotlight to show off what they've learned. I know both Sigil and Ceres were my new players. They were probably closer to 3 hour times when they both started their first time seeds, and I mean we saw them today. I have opened up the signups. I think I pinned them in the Jets of Time Discord. We're shooting for in the spring. If I get enough signups, I will put a firmer date on that. But I will have to. Well, I'll just ask Ceres live on the air. I would love to have a showdown between the Gato Cup 1 champion, Drinks Glue, and yourself as like a showcase. So I'll probably be in touch about if you'd be interested in that and the timings, because I think that would be fun potentially. But yeah, we will. I will keep doing these as long as I can keep getting new players to sign up and vets to be mentors. I hope both of you. We'll be back for the next one in the mentee spot. But Fox, any final thoughts from your end before we let the runners have the floor and say what they will?
Yeah, I've been happy to start helping with volunteering and everything. I haven't really thought about like doing races except I don't know, maybe if there's like ever um a Legacy of Cyrus tournament or something, I might consider trying it, but I generally haven't been wanting to race for a while. But I like volunteering, and I have pretty good random knowledge as well as like I run the vanilla game, and I'm happy to help if I can. And it's exciting to see how well these two in particular have done and everything. That said, I do think this. I think you can get really creative with this game, especially with party composition. So I want to see a little bit more. Um, I think I'm like my biggest like issue if I were to like actually race this is that I'm just like I think I just like too much of like Frog's my favorite character and everything, and so I often would just pick him if, in cases where it probably isn't the best. So um, it's kind of like something I'd have to get around if I were to do that. But that said, uh, thank you both for uh, your time and GG's again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sarah's final thoughts.
I just wanted to thank everyone in the community who's been super helpful. And I want to thank Fitz for doing all of this work, getting everything together, and in addition to just being our mentors. And I wanted to thank Sigil for joining me in another randomizer. And
Join me in Z2R Bomb.
yeah, I'll do that, but then I'll really lose. I don't want to lose to you.
But I'm playing ones that you played the vanilla.
Yeah, that's true, but I didn't That's not my fault. I will though. Z2 is one of those games that Zelda 2 that I have a sort of sick fascination with, and I have all my life. So the randomizer would be a lot of fun. But we don't need to talk about the randomizers now. Thank you for being a good rival and forcing me to practice so much.
Back at you. And thank you for putting on the restream, and Fitz for doing all the stuff with the Gal Cup and all the other mentors and everyone helping out.
Well said. Well, everyone out there, until the next Gato Cup or our next event, stay tuned to the channel. I'll see if I can get maybe some showcases going on, and have a wonderful evening.
Give your tabs to Ayla.